Coach, it's been a couple days. How have the guys been looking in practice as you get ready for South Florida tomorrow?
Practicing with a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm still. I mean, we've had some tough games that we've had recently, but we're battling through it. Our guys are working hard, excited about this opportunity we have tomorrow.
You said the other day after the last game, you guys are in these games, so you have the capability of winning them. What needs to happen to push you guys over the edge?
Well, it's the little things, a play here, a play there. We have to make sure we minimize those situations whether it's a offensive rebound, whether it's a turnover. When you make the least amount of mistakes, typically you have the best chance of winning in our sport. And so if we can minimize one or two more of those, gives us one or two more possessions, and on one possession games, that becomes huge.
Tyler Harris has such a big impact for USF in the first time you guys played them. What needs to be done differently to kind of keep him from going off like he did?
Well, he's a terrific player. He's hard to guard. He's crafty. He's an older player in our conference. We just need to be disciplined defensively and try to contain him. You're not stopping a young man of his caliber. What you want to do is try to contain him, make it as difficult as you can for him for 40 minutes, and that's the mindset we have to have going into the game.
What else do you remember about that first game in Tampa?
I thought it was a good game. I think through parts of it, I thought they were able to do a little more on the boards around the basket and the paint. We have to do a better job of eliminating their opportunities in the paint. We have to do a better job of eliminating their opportunities in transition. I thought they got out and ran against us and got some easy baskets in transition. Like I said, all those things count. So we have to do just a better job of being more attentive to the details, attention to the details. I think we make a bigger jump than where we are right now.
Taylor Hendricks obviously came in as a tremendous talent. How have you seen him develop as we've gone through a season and now deep into a conference year?
Well, he's still a work in progress. I mean, he's still a developing young player. He has tremendous, potential, and he's working towards that. I think he's getting better. I think this going through the conference, the second half, I think has been better than the first half of the conference play for him. You can see him continue to grow and learn from, what he did in the first half. So, but he's getting better. I love his attitude. He's very coachable. He works hard, and his best basketball is still ahead of him. As he continues to grow and work and round out his skills, he's going to even be a better player.
He's gotten a lot of NBA noise. Multiple mock drafts have him going in the first round. Is that something you've talked about with him?
No, we don't talk about those things. Right now we're concentrating on us, and he understands it's all about staying in the moment. I mean, those things all happen on that timeline, but that's not now. Right now is, what can you do to help your team win? What can you do to help, your team get better? And it's all about that. It's all about the team right now. And in the season, it becomes about, what happens afterwards. But no, right now, he should be focused on one thing. We all should be focused on one thing. And right now, that's USF.
I know a lot of times the non-conference schedules get formulated later on in the summertime, but as far as you know, is this probably it in terms of UCF and South Florida maybe playing on a yearly basis? Or
I can never say that. I mean, I think it's been a great game for both programs. I think we've had a tradition of playing now, and so I would not rule it out. I don't know what's going to happen. I have to look at what's happening, in our future and their future, and then we figure it out. But I do think it's been a great rivalry. I think it's made this area better by having the two teams, the war and I-4, exist.
That's still a focus, though, in terms of just trying to play some games in the state. You have to travel for conference play anyway, but is that something you try to do on a yearly basis? Like you play a Florida State, you play a Miami, maybe a South Florida in the future. Is that something you want to do?
Definitely. And we always, as you've known, ever since we've been here, we've always tried to play teams in our state, and we will always continue to do that. We'll try to find out what opponents those are, and, time will tell, but we do always want to try to play, in-state games. I think it's great rivalries. It's good for the different fan bases, good for all the supporters here, and so I think it's always a good opportunity to play someone in-state.
UCF announced that former UCF President John Hitt died yesterday. You were hired when he was the president. What do you remember about your interactions with John Hitt and his support of UCF athletics?
It's hard for me. I literally just learned that, and that knocked me back. As you mentioned, he hired me here, interviewed me, and I just remember him being a great man. And where we see UCF now and where it's headed, in my opinion, from what I saw, he laid the foundation for that. He the one that put it on an upward trajectory. And you have to be an incredible man to pull that off, over the last few decades. And every time I interacted with him and visited with him, a wise man, very good man. And like I said, he's going to be missed. And like I said, I literally just learned that 5 minutes ago. And so that's hard. Like I said, it really knocked me back because, we've just lost a great man.
Yeah, he played college football.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a college football. He had an athletics background. So,
Yeah.
You signed an excellent recruiting class back in November. Joey Hart, Comey, and Petras. Have you kept up with those guys this season? I mean, I know Joey's deep getting for a playoff run up in Indiana. Have you kind of kept up with those guys and how they've been doing?
Definitely. I like to keep up with our guys. The thing I know that they all are playing well. They all are doing well for their teams, different roles, but they all are very competitive. They all are getting better and all the things that we want. And I think they bring in a really good freshman class for us. I think they bring in a balance that we want to have. We don't want to be a team that exists on all, just older players from, the portal. We want to be a team that's balanced. And so between high school and kids from portal, and we want to make sure we do that right. And I think we've tried to do that. We've tried to balance it out, and we really like our freshman class.
What'd you like about Joey when you were recruiting him? And he's having an outstanding year. They've talked about he could be the best player in the state of Indiana. What did you like about him?
Well, I like his maturity. He's a very mature player. I loved his work ethic. I mean, he's a gym rat. He wants to get better, and he's a tough kid. I mean, he knows what he's doing out there. He doesn't back down. He competes, and I really like that about him. I saw it when we were following him, in the summers, and he just has a great ability, man, just to kind of, in that moment, you can always count on him. He seems to always step up and make that play that needs to be made, and so just very excited and very fortunate we were able to get him.
In Comey, what stood out? I know he's been in North Carolina, might be at Brewster Prep this year. What did you like about his talent? What do you think he's going to bring?
I think he's going to bring some energy, some effort, some toughness. I mean, he's a strong, physically built player. He plays really, really hard on both ends of the floor. He's like his motor's always running, and he's just very competitive. And so I think for us, he becomes a guy defensively, offensively, whether it's making plays, offensive rebounds, whether it's defensively, he can guard multiple positions, and he also brings just a real tough mindset and a physical way of playing.
And last one to round him out, Petras, just down the road up there in Volusia. What did you like? What does he bring?
Petras brings us another versatile player. I mean, 6'8". I mean, he's about 230 right now, 225, 230, walking in the door in college. I think in the league and where we headed in that type of environment, he's already, like all the other two players, physically they're almost ready for that type of an environment. And so he brings that physicality. He's explosive, athletic around the rim. He's capable shooter on the perimeter. And he plays exactly like I said the other two players play. He plays extremely hard, and he's a gym rat. He works at it and wants to be really good.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Coach.
You guys are welcome.